Every Wednesday, Mike, then Bad Shannon, you all need to be hammering it out. Get these people out to vote. Take a lawn chair, pack a basket, a lunch basket.
Yes, sir.
Take all your children with you if you have to, because they need to learn what the vote is all about. And so I'll try to end this on a really, really nice note. Every county and city, and I know I'm going to pay for this dearly. I know I am. Every county and every city should have a state's attorney like the one we have here in Prince George's County. That is the absolute truth. Not because she's my friend, but because she has done the things she said they would do, and the things she's doing are good for the people in Prince George's County. Every county deserves this. I didn't mean to go off into my
Phil, you would be Phil if you didn't do that. That's why we got you there, Phil. You got to do it. It can't be overstated.
I thought tonight when Mike said he wanted me to come on, I really want our state's attorney to talk about herself when she was younger. You know, we're only hearing about you, Madam State's Attorney, when you were state's attorney, but you did a lot of things. Let me just mention one. I guess I could do this. CPAC is a nonprofit. And in Prince George's County, nonprofits, people don't care about at-risk children. Now, you all understand that. They don't care about children in trouble. They just don't. But we have been building, renovating a youth learning center. Before the state's attorney became state's attorney, she was a state delegate. She brought back more than $300,000 to get that facility renovated. These are the kind of things your elected officials are supposed to do. So it's not, I'm talking about her because she's here, but these are the kind of things that we can't get done in our communities because our politicians, they go to the state house and try to figure out how many deals can they make. We have to look at the reason we're not getting things done. We got the wrong people in all the right places. Before she became a state's attorney, well, Ms. State's Attorney, you really need to tell your own story, because I think that those people who are coming up who want to be state's attorney, who think that it's not a reachable goal, they need to hear not just that you went to HU, but the things that you did in your community, the things you did when you weren't getting paid. Remember you drove that little raggedy car you used to drive around that just barely could make it from one street to the next? But this is what people need to hear from our politicians. Some of them have really done the good work their entire life. That is the truth. But I don't want to talk about her because I'm going to have to, this is going to burden me for the rest of this week at least. But I think, Aisha, did you always want to be a state's attorney? And are you finished being a state's attorney? You really didn't want me to ask that question, did you?
No, I'm not, actually. Thank you very much. And I'm exactly where I want to be. I think that I don't believe that, when I was in college, I didn't even know I wanted to be a lawyer. So certainly when I went to law school, having gone to Howard University in the late 90s, I graduated in 2000. At that time, I think if you would have told me I was going to be a state's attorney, I would have told you absolutely not. And in fact, the then state's attorney was a graduate of Howard Law School, and I met him, and he had given me his card and said, hey, if you want to intern, if you want to come work for our office, give me a call. And I looked at it and I thought to myself, there is no way that I am going to lock up young Black men. I'm not, I didn't say that to him at the time. I just graciously accepted the card, but I never called because in my head, prosecutors, all they did was, lock up young Black men. And I didn't want to be a part of that. But it is through my work in the community, I work with young people that I got to meet, police officers like you, Mike Blow, and I got a surprise for you on the line. And then I got to work with our justice system through the diversion program, and I saw how big of a difference we could make if we as a community decided that we were going to set our own standards, that we were going to hold our own young people accountable, and we could make a real big difference in their lives. And then through that process, I realized that maybe if I was on that other side, if I was the state's attorney, I could actually do even more. I mean, I live in this community, so I wanted to be safe. I protect my community, absolutely. But I also recognize that we need to have some compassion within our justice system and some balance within our system. And so that's why I decided to run. But I would not have run, and I would not have built the relationships I did with our public safety community if it weren't for folks like you, Mike Blow. So I have a special surprise on the line for you. So special surprise, say hello.
Yeah, he already know. I sent him a text message.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, special surprise, can you introduce yourself and tell them what Mike Blow means to you?
Okay, well, Mike Blow. My name is Mike Ash.
Hey, Mike, how you doing, man?
Mike, she let you off tonight.
Yes, she let me out. No, she actually didn't. She still got me under control. So
He's
it's like
executive protection, y'all.
Wanted to do.
But it's funny how things come full circle because Mike Blow. I was in the Marine Corps prior to being on the police department. So one thing I learned that you take after your supervisors and your leaders and the people that you look up to. That's the ones you end up mimicking. And right from the very start, I probably would not be here today or having this job today if it wasn't for Mike Blow, because he took me on his wing and say, look, I got you. Do what I say. Don't say nothing else. And just follow me. And I said, yes, sir. He got me. And so then once I get out on patrol and road and stuff, as he's moved up, I moved up right behind him. He was like, look, you want to be a community police officer? This is what you need to know. This is what you need to do. You got a beat book? And I'm like, what is a beat book? You need a book. It needs to have every stakeholder in it. You need to go everybody in your community. You need to go out and talk to these people. You need to go and do this. You need to go and do that. And I'm like, what is this guy talking about? He is crazy. He's telling me to do all of this stuff, but I'm doing it. And there are people that looking at me like I got this 300-page book. And they was like, man, nope, that's my secret. I'm not sharing that with nobody with my squad. So I was a supervisor on my squad. So what happened? I had my guys do the same thing. And all of these guys now have gone on to be captains, majors, lieutenants, and it just went downhill. So from what Mike Blow kind of started with me several other people, it just kept on going. And now it's full circle. The people that you're starting with, I'm working with the people that started with you. So once again, thank you for everything. I appreciate you. A lot of stuff that I've done and accomplished is because of you. And I'm very grateful.
Wow. Well, I tell you, man, that's wow, that's real humbling. I certainly didn't see that one coming, Madam State's Attorney. but wow. But I certainly appreciate that, and it's just humbling, when you've been able to work with good people, community people like Phil, tremendous people like Madam State's Attorney, who I remember when she first got started and literally was walking the streets and doing different things, particularly around auto theft. I don't know you remember. I remember you walking those streets of Kettering, and then just to see you rise to where you are, and then of course, Mike Ash, who literally took a bullet to save our community. And I mean, so this guy is no joke. And, it's just very humbling to see that, the people that you've had the pleasure of working with over the years are just doing some incredible things. Now I'm speechless and I'm just so grateful that you all are doing the things you're doing, because it's making a difference for the folks that really don't feel like they have a voice.
You know what, Mike?
Yes,
Mike, and I told you we was going to tell you some things. And Mike Ash, you did a great job with him, because I trust Mike to take care of her so I can sleep at night.
Yes.
He's good at what he does.
That's right.
But Mike, we've talked about some things, and I'm telling you, Sharon and Thin Bag, y'all need to give this some thought. We talked about him as the police. We haven't got around talking about Mike Blow and the director of school security. And God knows the changes he brought to the school, some of them are still in place today. Mike brought and I can tell, and actually Aisha and I both can talk about this, because most of the juveniles we came in touch with, they came by way of the school. Mike Blow did some tremendous things with school security when he got there. In fact, I think the world of Susan, of his wife, I think she's a great person. When Mike told me he was moving to Vegas, to Las Vegas, or wherever he is now, I was through. I could not believe that would happen to me. So again, Thinbat, I'm sitting there thinking about it. For listeners to hear from a former deputy chief, a former school security chief, and the things that he has accomplished. You've heard Aisha's story, you've heard Mike Ash's story, my story. The truth is this: I'm not sure any of that would have happened as it happened if he were not an intricate part of it all. Mike took a whole lot of flack from a whole lot of these different folks here in Prince George's County because of the way he chose to work with his community and to work with people. It takes a lot. That's a different kind of police officer, especially in Prince George's County, okay? So I would say to you, and what you all should do when you do this show for Mike, give me a call so I can have everybody, Aisha, we have everybody come back. You all should really pull that off. I'm glad that we did this, but it made me think. Mike, you talk about people every week and all the things that people do. And I wonder if you ever sit there and think to yourself, I need to tell them they should do this. I ought to go ahead and tell them they should do that. Because you got answers. You do. And you're getting older, so you need to do these things.
Right. Well, I appreciate it. But you know what? I can't go because Shannon has been chomping at the bits. And Madam State's Attorney, when you talked about the election, Shannon has some questions that she wanted to ask you about that, because that's one of the things that we all know is so important, as you and Phil alluded to. So, Shannon, if you can ask those questions that I know you were chomping at the bit, and then I know we're getting close to that bewitching hour, and we'll make our way out of here.
Basically, what do you think about the intimidation tactics that they have set up around the polls? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Madam State's Attorney, you're muted.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
Yes, and I was going to say, and I remembered when our president told his supporters to go, watch closely at the polls. And we understood that could be very intimidating for people who have seen his supporters really just, berate people, spew all types of hatred. And so what we understand is that we have to be vigilant. So right after that happened, actually, I had an initiative that I'm working on with our local jail and some of our other community leaders called Operation Protect the Vote for All. And what I said is that if there's anyone who is intimidating you at the polls, contact the Board of Elections, contact the local NAACP, let them know, because our office will be working with everyone, but certainly our law enforcement partners, as well as our Board of Elections and our local nonprofits, to address issues of voter intimidation on election day. The other thing I said is that, voting by mail is safe. Your vote will be counted. Okay. The fact is that the reason why 45 is telling you not to vote by mail is because he does not believe that you'll be voting for him. If he thought that the majority of folks who would be voting by mail would be voting for him, then he would say mail is the only way to ensure that your vote is counted. Okay, but we understand that he is losing currently. I believe he will lose on election day because people are actually voting. They're voting early in so many states. And if you saw the lines in Georgia, okay,